Yeah, morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right?
Yeah, your voice is clear and screen also.
Fine, thank you. So today just I'll be discussing about fundamentals of Python, Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, and Python execution modes, right? Python, you need to know something about PSF, Python software foundation. PSF. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community, devoted towards Python community, right? Yes. It was launched in the year 2001, right? Yes. And the main objective of this PSF, right? The objective or aim of this version to foster the development of Python. Okay. In the year 2005, right? PSF, Python Software Foundation, received Computer World Horizon Award. In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award. Mm. The president for this PSF is nothing but the same personality who have introduced or developed Python, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum is the personality who introduced or developed Python, is the same personality who is the president for this PSF. Okay. Headquarters, where are the headquarters located? Headquarters, right? In Delaware, yes. Delaware, USA. Official website for Python. Official website, right? Python.org. Python.org, right? Yes. Okay. Python Software Foundation, right? Yes. So something about Python versions now, right? What are the versions of Python? Before I go with the Python installation, right? Python versions. Python 1.x. The first Python, okay, 1.x means 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So the Python version like that, introduced in the year 1990. Python 2.x version in the year 2000. It was introduced in the year 2000. Python 3.x version introduced in the year 2008. The version that what we are using currently is 3 version, right? Python 3 version we are using. Okay. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python. Latest version is Python, like Python 3.11. Stable version of Python. Stable version of Python, right? Python 3.7. Previous stable version is stable version means mostly used version. What is it? Mostly used version. Python 2.7 is mostly used. So Python 1 version, 2 version, and 3 version, right? 3 version was introduced almost like 14 years ago, right? Still we are running with 3 version. 3.11 is the latest version. Stable version is 3.7, right? Yes. Python installation. Now, now check this installation of Python, right? Yes. So before I install, right, go into settings, apps, apps and features. I'm uninstalling, I'm removing this again. I'll try to reinstall this Python. So Python provides different softwares for different environments, right? For Windows, for Linux, and for Mac OS. For Linux, there is no need of any separate installation, right? By default, Python comes as inbuilt within this Linux operating system. So no need of any separate installation for it. Windows provide, see, Python provides different softwares for different environments. For Windows also, it provides two softwares. One for 32-bit Windows, one for 64-bit Windows. If your Windows is 32-bit, you're supposed to download 32-bit Python software. If it is 64-bit, you are supposed to download 64-bit Python. How will you check whether your system is a 32-bit or 64-bit? Okay, minimize this, minimize, let this go. Go to your desktop. And say properties. What it is, 64-bit operating system, right? If it is 32 bits, okay, 64-bit operating system. Check it whether it is 64-bit or 32-bit, right? Yes, first. If it is 64-bit, right? Yes. Windows 7 means you should go with the older versions of Python, right? Not see, one second. I'll show you. Right? So uninstallation successful, right? Uninstall was successful. Close it. Yes. Now go to this Google, check, right? Yes. What is the official website of Python? Python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python and we can see the documentation for each and every Python release, right? Yes. Okay. This is what Python.org, PSF. PSF means Python Software Foundation, right? Yes. Python Software Foundation. Just now I was talking about this, right? About the sponsorship, memberships, donations, volunteer, these things. It's a community, right? Now go to this Python, say downloads. In this downloads, if you see, okay, see here clearly, can you see here? Note Python 3.9 plus cannot be used on Windows 7 or earlier. Yes, Python 3.9 or plus cannot be used in Windows 7. So go for 3.8. If anybody working in Windows 7, go with Python 3.8 version. So downloads, all releases you can click. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific, go for this. Looking for a specific release. So select this 3.11, right? Python 3.11, the first one. Okay, October 24, 2022, right? Yes. Almost like 1 month ago it was released. 3.11, you can select it. You can just click 3.11. Let's scroll down, scroll down. Yes. You got Windows installer for 32-bit, you got the Windows installer for 64-bit, you got. Yes, click this 64-bit if it is 64-bit, if 32-bit, select 32. So your software size is 24 MB, right? Yes, your it's done. Download is completed, right? Yes. So that exe file, whatever that exe file you are seeing, right? .exe file. Okay. Double click the exe file, which if it is downloaded, otherwise go to the downloads folder and click the exe file. You will get a window in this manner. We will get a window like this. Which version for Windows 7 means? Yes. Windows Python 3.8 version is need to select. You have selected 3.11, right? For Windows 7, select 3.8 or 3.7. 3.8 you can select. Okay. So you will get this window like this. At the bottom, add Python to path. Select it, add Python to path. Go for customize, go for what? Customize installation. Go for customize installation. So documentation, people, all this, right? Nothing to select in this. Nothing to select. Yes, say next. Here also nothing to select in this. See your installation location where it is getting installed. In C, users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python 310. So it is installing in some subdirectories, right? But tomorrow, if you want to locate Python, it will be very difficult that where exactly this Python is installed. You need to enter into this multiple subdirectories. So remove all this and just install Python in my C drive. Just remove all that and just say C/. Okay, now just say install. That's it. So this Python 311 a folder is going to get created within the C drive, and within that 311 folder, right, Python is going to get installed. Say install. Just it hardly takes 1 minute for installation. Right. Once. Yeah, installation was successful, right? Now let us check whether it is successfully installed or not. To check whether it is successfully installed or not, right? Go to the command prompt. At the bottom search panel, type CMD and say enter, right? You will go to the command prompt. Just type Python and say enter. Just type Python and say enter, right? Yes. Python version and Python interpreter got opened, right? Yes. Python version interpreter gets opened. So here you can type any valid statements and check, right? 4 plus 2, 5 into 3, x as 10. What is x value? X plus 2. So your Python is working, right? Working fine. So Python is installed successfully. Interactive mode. You can easily interact with Python step by step. Okay, if you want to come out of this, say quit. Okay. So yes, that is what installation of Python, let's say. And if anybody wants to install, see here, if you're working with older version of Linux, then you may have older version of Python within it. But if you want to update with the new version, right, you can just use this command, right? We install everything from the root user, right? That's why you go for sudo apt-get install. Python 3.11 or 3.10. Okay. apt-get install Python 3.11. This command is going to install the latest version of Python in your Linux machine, right? Yes. Now Python execution modes. Python execution modes, right? Two modes of execution. Interactive mode and batch mode. Python supports two modes of execution, interactive mode and secondly, it is batch mode. Two modes of execution, right? Yes. So interactive mode means just now I was talking, right? You can interact with Python statement by statement. Yes, by every statement, it gives the response. Here we directly type. Right? Python statements on the interpreter. And the user can easily interact. Right? And the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. And the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. This interactive mode advantage, the advantage is to test the functionalities of Python. And to learn Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python, right? Yes. If you doesn't know about any particular functionalities, right, you can just type on this interactive mode and you can just by seeing the response you can understand, right? And to learn Python as a beginner, as a learner, right, Python interactive mode works better. And batch mode means like just like other programming languages, we write batch of statements and save it by using .py extension. Here we write a batch of statements. Within the editors or IDEs. Integrated development environments. Within the editors or IDEs and save it by using .py extension. And later submit to Python. We write batch of statements within the editors or IDEs and save it by using .py and later submit to Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? And what are the various IDs? In real time, we use IDs, integrated development environments, right? So what are the various editors where we can create a Python file? We can write Python code is within the notepad you can write. Yes. Within the notepad, within the edit plus. Various editors, Notepad and Edit Plus within the Windows environment, VIN Nano within the Linux environment for creating a Python file, for creating a .py file, right? Yes. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, yes. So various IDs like PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, Autumn, VS Code. You may ask a query, right? Why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two? Because Python used for different environments, right? Integrated Development Environment. ID full form is what? Integrated Development Environment. So in real time, we use these IDs, right? For developing applications or projects in Python. So we have got many IDs for Python. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one. Mostly used ID. So why this many IDs? Because Python is used for different environments or different domains, right? Okay, it is used for different environments. For data science, for big data, for networking, for animations, for game development, for all this, right? So for every environment uses some, for example, for data science, Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. The Jupyter Notebook is mostly used. Spider ID is used. For big data also, Spider and Jupyter is mostly used. For typical web applications, right? Like PyCharm is mostly preferred, Autumn is preferred, VS Code is preferred. So in this way, different environments using different IDs, right? Yes. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Developing the first, okay, within a editor, right? Yes. Example. Okay. Example within the notepad. Open notepad, right? Open notepad and type the following Python statements. First Python application within editor. and type the following Python statements. X value is 10, Y value is 20. Okay, so just I'm taking two values and performing some kind of arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? As we didn't discuss anything about Python fundamentals, right? Yes, just I'm performing per arithmetic operations. By taking two values, I want to perform arithmetic operations. Right, open notepad. Sample1 dot py. I'm just saving it as sample1 dot py. Yes. Save as sample1 dot py. Now submit this file to Python. Submit this file to Python as writer. Go to the command prompt. Go to this command prompt and just type Python. Just type what? Python, and give the path where your file is available within the C drive. 7 a.m. right? Within the C drive slash 7 a.m. Python 7 a.m. right? Yes. Within that sample1 dot py and so just say enter. You'll get 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. You are the output, right? Yes. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Okay. So on just writing some code within this notepad, Python code within the notepad, save it as .py extension, and now submit this file to Python as type Python and give the path in C drive, so and so folder, so and so file. Yes, but here what is your observation? But here we are writing the code. But here we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. We're writing the code at one place. Within the notepad you are writing. And executing at the other place. But to write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, integrated development learning environment, right? We have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation, using which but to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which execute at the same place. Yes. So here understood, right? How to, what are the various editors and what are the various IDs. So, but to write and execute at the same place, we have got IDLE, right? I'll show where to run, how to open this IDLE, right? So just I'll copy this code. How to open this IDLE means go to your start programs, check where your Python is available here, right? Python 3.11, right? Python shell or gets open, click this Python shell, right? File, new file. So here it will opens in interactive mode. You can type any valid statements, 3 plus 4. But I want to work with batch mode means file, new file, write your code here itself and execute, run module, run module. You can run the code here itself, right? Save it first. Run module. Run module, right? Yes. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Understood, right? So here in this, ideally, we can write the code here itself and we can execute the code here itself, right? Yes. So I was just discussing, right? So Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, uh, working with editors, working with IDs. Working with IDs, I'll discuss later once we are done with a little bit of technical content, right? Yes. So here, if you want to write a Python code within a notepad, right? First open notepad, type your Python code, this whatever you want to write, and save it, save as sample1.py, save it. Now submit this file to Python. Now submit this file to Python. How to submit the file to Python? Go to the command prompt, cmd you type and type Python there, and give the path in which drive, in C drive, in which folder, Python, which folder, what is the folder name, and what is the file name, right? Yes, file name sample1.py, right? So you got so here just specify Python and give the path, entire path of the file name, the folder name, and the drive name. Say enter. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Understood, right? This, and if you want to work with IDLE, right? If you here, what happens, you are writing the code in the notepad, but you are executing in the command prompt, right? But to write and execute at the same place, right? So we can just go to this IDLE. We go to this IDLE, right? Yes, where it is available, wherever Python is installed, right? So within this Python 3.11, if you click it, the first thing is you see IDLE. Python shell gets opened. So within this cell, this is your cell, right? If you want to work with interactive mode, here you can type and execute. And if you want to work with batch mode, say file, new file. Okay. Here itself, we can write the code, save it by using .py extension and run itself. Run here, run module, right? Understood. Okay, so understood, right, everyone? So you can install Python in your systems, and not only that, Python can be installed in any environment, right? Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and even for the Mac OS also, you can see that download is available. If you go and check here, right, in this python.org website, can you see here for Mac OS 64-bit universal installer for Mac OS. For Linux, I said there is no separate installation. Okay, we can, by default Python comes, but if you want latest version, you can just use that command. I said. Yes. And we have got editors and IDs. Editors like for Windows and for Linux, right? A Notepad and Edit Plus for Windows, VA Nano for Linux. Creating a .py file and submitting to this. Okay. And we have got ideally where we can write and execute at the same place, right? Yes. Yeah. So any queries you have got as part of today's session, like installations, versions, execution modes? Tomorrow I'll be entering into the technicals of Python data types and variables. What happens internally when we store a variable in Python? How to print its value, how to print its address, how to print its type. So I also said I'll be discussing modules related to different domains. See, some models related to database, some models related to operating system, some models related to regular expression, some related to date time, some related to data science, some models related to big data, some related to graphics, and how to create our own modules. Everything we'll be discussing, right? Apart from this, we'll be discussing procedural oriented programming, object oriented programming, scripting, right? Everything I'll be discussing. You can just go to the course content. Yes. Tomorrow also everyone can attend the session at same time using the same link, right? Yes. So Python for writing automation scripts, right? Python within this AWS, in robotics, in IoT, right? Python is mostly preferred for writing automation scripts. Python is one of the best language with vast variety of libraries.
Sir, how is memory managed by Python, sir?
Yeah.
I mean, how does Python manage its memory?
Yes, yes. So tomorrow you can just understand those, right? What happens internally whenever we define some variables. Automatic memory management in the Python, right? Okay.
Hello,
Yes, yes.
sir. What is the duration of this Python course?
So total in brief about Python core and advanced, it takes 2 to 2.5 months.
Okay, sir.
So only for Python core and advanced, it is 2.5 months. And for if you go for total full stack course, it's a total full stack, right? Okay. For Python, the see here, 1 second. Observe this. So as part of this course, you'll be learning Python, right? Python core, advanced and application oriented modules. The duration like nearly 70 hours we'll be discussing, like 2.5 months it takes, 2 to 2.5 months. And the fee structure is 5K for it. And apart from this Python full stack, if you want to go, means you'll be in brief, you'll be given knowledge on this UI technologies, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, plus Django framework. Plus REST APIs, plus project. So for all this, other than for all this, it's 5K only, right? So combinedly it's 10K if you go for full stack, right? Yes. So will be discussed UI technologies in brief, not like overview, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Django, REST APIs and project, right? Everything. So it also for, this is for 2 months. Python also for 2.5 months, right? Totally like 4 months to 4.5 months it takes for entire thing. If you want to go parallelly also, you can go parallelly. While updating Python, you can go with UI technologies parallelly, right? So, and Django introduction, those things, everything also, by the time you complete UI technologies, right? Python core gets completed. When Python cores get completed, you can go with Django also parallelly. So that in parallel, if you go 2.5 months, it gets completed, 2.5 to 3 months. So there are some weekend batches also available. In weekdays, you can go for Python. Weekends, you can go for Django. Yes. Yes. Any other queries, right? Anyone? So every recorded video you will be getting, every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded video and soft copy of the notes. Topic wise, you'll be getting this, whatever I'm discussing, right? The notes will be. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Would you give the some assignments for practice of Python after
Yes,
the
yes,
session?
yes, definitely. Once we enter into the technical thread, I'll provide you the assignments task.
And sir, is in this 5K is the use of Python is completely covered in AWS?
So here Python used for different environments, right? Python used for different environments, right? In networking, it is used in big data, it is used data science, it is used in testing, it is used in animations, it is used. So different domains it is used, right? I said I'll be discussing some domains. How to, we have got modules, 89,300 modules are there. How to explore a module. For example, if you are from data science background, you'll be exploring some 10 modules. Only how to explore a module, how to use its properties, how we can check its functionalities, how we can get help on its module, and how to reload, how to reuse. And if okay, in this way, if you want to explore the module, right, you'll be learning in this course how to explore a module. So you can just explore. If you go to any environment, you will be able to explore that module.
Okay, sir.
So for that, we require Python knowledge. Yes.
Sir, there is a problem with installation.
What is it?
I install when we first saw downloads, when we first press downloads, there come installations for Windows. I installed that again. You told to install the below one.
Yes.
So then I deleted the one that is already installed, and then again when I am installing, it came like modify setup. Now what to do?
Modified setup means you have not installed it. Install uninstallation means how will you uninstall? Go to the settings, apps, and select your apps. So which one you want to remove it. Select which you want to uninstall, right? So Python 3.11.
Not present, sir. I saw it.
So you need to uninstall this.
And,
Click
and
it and uninstall it.
actually, it is not present, sir. And I have deleted from the C drive.
Share your screen. Can you share the screen?
Actually, I'm using two devices. Wait, sir. Let me show you.
Now what is your problem? Yes. So in that Python is not available. Uninstall, you click and uninstall it, right? Yes, setup failed. Close it. Not startup apps, right? You where you went startup apps, uninstallation, not that, not this, right? Go to settings, go to your Windows settings, apps, in that select apps. Okay, this only, right? In that Python is not available. Which version you have selected? 64-bit 3.11. Select it, and if trying to install, already you have got the downloaded file. Click the downloaded file. What happened? Modify, repair, uninstall. Modify, you say? Okay, next you say. Next install, you say. Close it. And now work with Python. Go to command prompt. Type Python there. Command prompt. Open command prompt. CMD you type in the search. CMD. Type Python there. Type Python. Enter. Working, right? Some statements with 3 plus 4 is it? Enter. Enter. 3 plus 4. It's not plus, right? Plus 3 plus 4. Enter. Yes. It's working, right? Your Python is working, right? Yes. So 1 second. You are seeing what is your query here? Okay. So you can work with this Python. Okay, Python version. Okay. For that you need to set. Okay, you are not selected. See, once again, while installation, if you are not selecting that add Python to path, right? It's your older version, older Python path will be taken. I think you have already installed Python 3.10.5. The tomorrow session I'll say, right, how to set path. Okay, in the tomorrow session I'll say you that how to set path for this. So any version, right, Python 3.9, 10, 11, anything is fine to work with, not a problem. Python 3.9, 3.10, 3.11, any version can be used. For you, how we can set the path means go to environment variables. We need to give the path of Python 3.11 in that. If you have forgot to give the path. Okay. Fine, not a problem. So, okay, tomorrow we'll continue. So everyone try to install it. Still, if anyone has got problem, so tomorrow you can intimate me, right? So I'm stopping for now. Meet you tomorrow, right? Same time, same link.